I didn't think too much about about doing it or getting any sort of modest praise for it, because I thought everyone did what I did. And I eventually, of course, figured out that no, everyone didn't do it, and I was one of the few who was interested in that way, in any serious way, in lit. And in college, that was one of the things that I understood. If I did anything well or better than average, that seemed to be it, that I could write better than my classmates in terms of writing poetry and skits and stories and so forth. And we had a little bit of an informal club at Muskingum College, where I ended up in undergraduate, the last 2 years of my undergraduate education. They didn't teach creative writing classes, but we had a little coffee house where some of us would get together on a Friday night and wear our berets and read our poems and stories to one another. And then in my senior year, I wandered into a class called Contemporary American Literature. And before that class, I really didn't know there was any such thing as contemporary American literature. I wouldn't have been able to explain to you what the meaning of that was. I would have thought, oh, well, maybe they're talking about Steinbeck and Hemingway and Faulkner and Fitzgerald, people who were already dead, because it never had sunk into me, I think, that there was such a thing as a living writer. I thought they were all dead guys that were wearing white beards for the most part in encyclopedias, and that what they wrote was about a time, times and places that had very little to do with the life I had led. And then I got into this course that where we were reading things, Ken Kesey, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, John Cheever short stories about the lives of many of my, it seemed to be about the lives of many of my classmates, most of whom came from the East in Connecticut, and writing about John Updike and so many others. It was a real eye-opener to me to find out that there were people in the midst of life as I knew it, writing about life as I knew it. And that sort of sent me off to the races. I realized that there was such a thing as a profession that I could try to worm my way into. And I had no sense of what the odds of such a thing were. I just decided that was what I was going to do, and even though I was going to continue to go to law school, I would do this, I would write on the side.